Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
All right, this is the people versus, if you're ready, Mr. Gazicki, or I have Mr. Contreras' file in front of me. All right, oh, you're right in front of me. I'm looking at the computer screen. Okay. All right, this is 21-2049, the people versus Matthew Contreras.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. James Gazicki on behalf of Mr. Contreras. Your Honor, Mr. Contreras is going to enter a plea of guilty to the charge. He's asking the court to be sentenced to 93 days. He's also asking the court, because on concurrent, he be given credit for the time he spent in incarceration in Garden City. Documentation is provided, Your Honor. He was incarcerated the first day in September 5th. He attempted a plea by mail, and nothing was, he received no response from this court. So we're asking for that he be given credit for the full time he's been incarcerated in Garden City, and the rest of the sentence runs concurrent with that sentence.
Okay, it should just be noted that this wasn't received by the court until late October, so it's not. I can't say why it hadn't made it up here yet, but it's not like it's just been sitting around. And we also have Miss Hufford present. Miss Hufford, did the prosecutor or advocate speak to you about this plea agreement? I'm sorry, you're muted.
Okay. Yes, she did, ma'am.
Okay, so you understand all of that?
Yeah, I can't say that I agree with it, but I understand.
Okay. Okay. So he would plead guilty to as charged to domestic violence. Sir, you understand domestic violence is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of $500?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. Did you go over your constitutional rights outlined with your attorney on this advice of rights form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand your rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you give your attorney permission to sign your name on that advice of rights form?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Contreras, you understand that if I accept the plea of guilty, that you'll be waiving the trial rights on that form. There will be no trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Okay. And you understand that if you're on probation or parole and you enter a plea of guilty, it could be a violation of those conditions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So to the charge of domestic violence, sir, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
Has anyone forced you to get you to plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea agreement to get you to plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Were you in the city of Taylor back on August 4th of 2021?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And were you in a dating relationship with Miss Natalie Hufford?
No, I was not.
It resided in the same home.
You resided in the same home?
Yes, at the
All
time.
right. Okay, well, I'm just worried about it at the time. So, sir, did you do something that makes you guilty here of domestic violence?
Yes, ma'am, I did. We got to an altercation. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, go ahead. You got into it.
We got into an altercation, and one thing led to another. I grabbed her hair, and I ended up hitting her in the face. Struck her.
She didn't want you to do that, did she?
No, ma'am, she didn't. And I am truly sorry. And I'm getting
If you were truly sorry, you wouldn't be beating on my sister as well.
I'm really getting my
All
life.
right. Miss Hufford,
I'm really getting
Go
my
ahead.
life together, and I do want to apologize, and if I could take it back, I would. And I had a lot of time to think about it, and I'm really sorry. And
Well, Mr. Hufford, you did have a lot of time to think about it because you've been in bench warrant status twice. And this case is from 2021, so you've had like 2 years and a couple months to think about it because you never come to court. So you're right, you did have plenty of time. Ma'am, if we're gonna do an immediate sentencing on this, you have a right to speak. Now is your chance to talk to the court or say anything that you want to say and make your victim's impact statement if you're so inclined.
Yeah, I am, ma'am. The thing with this is it's been ongoing with him. He has multiple charges with Garden City for the same things, domestic with my sister, but my sister never follows through because he sweet talks her while he's in jail for her to drop the charges. And as soon as he gets out, he's right back there in Garden City with my sister. And then this reoccurs again. Why do you think he's in jail now? Because my sister called the police and he got put back in jail for beating on her. I have proof of this.
Sir,
My
it's
sister
not
Marcia.
your Mr. Contreras.
I'm
It's not
sorry.
your turn to talk. It's the victim's time. The lady that you grabbed by her hair and hit in her face, she gets to say something. In this courtroom, she gets to say something, and it's her time, so zip it. Go ahead, Ms. Hufford.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. And I do apologize for me interrupting him as well. But like what I was saying, this has been reoccurring. He is in jail right now for the same thing, hitting my sister. And I have proof of this because my other sister, Marcia, showed me bruises that my sister Erica, the one who he is with for 10 years, that he's been beating on all that time. She has pictures that my sister sent to her. And if anybody would like, I could try to get a hold of somebody to show those pictures and
No,
text message.
that's okay. I see a history, certainly.
Yes, ma'am.
Just give me a second here.
It has to stop somewhere, ma'am.
How much more time does he have on that case? Do you know, Mr.
It's
Gazette?
allocated November 20th.
See a concerning history, not just what the complainant witness or the victim on this case has said, but his history. And I understand, Mr. Gazicki, that he's in right now on assaulting an officer, but I see there was a plea and the DV was dismissed as part of that. So he's in custody for an assaultive crime. While he's been on the run for this assaultive crime, he's continued to commit assaultive crimes and be convicted of them. And I'm not inclined to give him all of that credit. I mean, what he would get sent on 10-4, sentenced to 10-4 to 93 days, credit 30, and he's got an out date of November 20th.
Slap on the wrist.
He can have, I'll give him credit for 30 and he can serve the other 63.
Okay, I need to go in a breakout room with them and.
Yeah,
If
Mr.
he wants to
Contreras, you can
withdraw.
talk to your attorney. If not, you can withdraw it. I'll give you credit for 30, but you've been in warrant status here for years. You've continued to commit assaultive cases, and I'm not inclined to just give you 13 days in jail or 17 days in jail, whatever the math is. All right, are you ready again on Mr. Contreras?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
All right, where did everyone go? She left. Okay, she left. Okay. All right, so we're back on the record on 21-2049, the People versus Matthew Contreras.
Good morning again, Your Honor. James Guzicki on behalf of Mr. Contreras. I had the opportunity to speak with him, and he wishes to go ahead with his plea, understanding he'll only get credit for 30 days, and that he'll have to serve the remaining 63 days, Your Honor.
All right, you understand all of that, Mr. Contreras?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
So I'm gonna give you 30 days credit, 93 days with 30 days credit. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, and sir, you also understand, just before I accept the plea, that there are certain laws, federal and state laws, that would prohibit you from possessing or purchasing an ammunition or a firearm, including a rifle, pistol, or a revolver. If you were convicted or found guilty of the misdemeanor crime of violence against the current or former spouse, parent, or guardian of the victim, someone you share a child in common with, or someone you were cohabitating with.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, and so if you want to appeal your sentencing, you can appeal to circuit court within 21 days from the date of the sentence or is permitted pursuant to MCR 5625 parent B. If the sentence includes incarceration and you wish to file an appeal but are financially unable to retain an attorney, the court will appoint a lawyer to represent you on appeal if the request for the lawyer is made within 14 days after sentence. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then that's the sentence of the court and we're all set. And he also has a $50 crime victim or state assessment, $75 crime victims rights fee, $50 fine, $50 court cost, for a total of $150, 225 total. And he can have a payment plan of $50 a month, starting 2/1/23.
Okay, so I don't have no more court dates?
You are, well, no, you've got 93 days with 30 days credit. And then you have your payment plan that's gonna start on February 1st when you get out of custody, sir. But
Okay,
no, you don't have any more court dates here as long as you make your payments.
right, okay. Thank you.
All right, you're all set.
Do you know how much the payments would be? Or-
The payments are $50 a month. The total was $250 and it starts February 1st. If you're still incarcerated or you need more time, all you have to do is call the court, sir, and we'll work with you.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Have a good evening.
All right. Yep, thank you.